This week on News Time, the fall television season is starting up, which means networks are readying their ad sales. What, the ad sales? Again? Why can't I ever cover something cool like Elon Musk smoking weed on camera and Tesla executives leaving the company left and right? And don't you tell me it's because those don't have nothing to do with comedy or comedy adjacent news, Ron. Look, we've done like 5 episodes on music streaming. Think about it this way. If we cover Tesla, the company will send us a free car. We sell the car for Buco Dolores, split the profits 95-5, and we live like kings. What? You know I don't speak Spanish, so you know I don't know what Buco Dolores means. Let's discuss this after the cold open. Okay, so ad sales. CBS's ad sales have fallen. Fox and NBC have decided to cut percentage of ad sales. ABC's ad sales were just combined with every other Disney entity. And Amazon is targeting digital consumers. Many major outlets are taking different approaches than the usual ones. Find out which plans worked so far only on News Time. All right, so let me go over this Tesla scam one more time.
It's News Time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
This episode of News Time is brought to you by Streaked Underwear. Streaked Underwear. It's exactly what you think it is. Welcome back to News Time. I'm so sorry. I'm your host, Chad White. And this is the ad sales news that you didn't know about. Ad sales are very important for the television industry, especially the non-streaming side. You see, where networks like Netflix and Amazon reign kings and queens and in-betweens in terms of having zero ads on their platforms, broadcast and cable networks still have to rely on a very important and archaic part of the industry. Commercial time seems to have increased while interest in them has completely dropped. Even Hulu, a conglomerate of broadcast networks, offers a commercial-free option to what was once a free commercial-driven operation. In the age of streaming, however, networks can't rely on commercials being large pieces of income. Stop me if you've heard this one. I've talked about ads on News Time once, twice, maybe even 4 times. There was a point when a highly rated, long-running, late-night, weekend-based sketch series tried lessening ad times too. Is it apparent? Did it work? We can't really tell, but the in-show advertising was promised alongside less breaks is definitely there. Sticking with NBC, the network did indeed say it was shaving off ad time. Parent company NBCU said it would reduce commercial time across all of its primetime lineup, only by 10%, but it's something. 20% everywhere else. Hey, a conglomerate's gotta make money somehow. Yep. Starting this television season, you'll be watching more of your favorite programs and less of those pesky buy me mini movies. More than 50 primetime shows will experience this change. That's not all they're experimenting with, though. Prepare to see ads that will be innovative and engaging and targeted. NBCU also wants to introduce interactive picture-in-picture and social commercials and social-first pods so viewers can be in the ads they hate, I guess. And don't forget, nothing good in this world comes without a cost. The catch here is that NBCU will air what they call the Prime Pod during its primetime shows. This is a 1-minute long pre or post show ad dedicated to networks' top advertisers. Nothing comes free in this world. Not even Tesla's. NBCU's move into lessening ads seems to have worked. CEO Steve Burke reported at the summer upfronts that advertisers were flocking to buy them. The numbers were there to back up the claim. NBC had reported a 7% increase in commitments from advertisers. Variety estimates that the network saw $2.92 billion in commitments this year, up from last year's $2.73 billion. Both NBC, MSNBC, and Telemundo, for instance, saw an increase of 30% and 3% respectively. NBC is not the only broadcaster trying to improve with the times. Fox also wants to cut down on ad time, albeit in a way that won't hurt the network. Here's the thing about this next bit. This was all reported on before the sale to Disney. Who knows how these network heads are thinking now? Ad boy Joe Marchese said he wanted to drop 2 minutes of commercial time in each primetime hour by 2020, possibly for only one night a week too. That's a more focused plan than what NBC has, but on the outset, it seems way less effective. Only the 8 to 10 p.m. time slots will see the decrease, which means time is still a factor for every other hour of broadcasting. Still, advertisers are hungry for the new approach. Fox Networks also suggested they make up the time by having in-show ads, much akin to what they're already doing with Empire and Pepsi products, because when you think Empire, you think Pepsi. With all of their hip new ideas, these could be difficult for Fox to put into use. For one, their night of less advertising may not be the same night every week, but a different night each week. This brings in a totally different audience with their own set of new advertising problems. Fox also wants to try the long-form commercial at the beginning or the end of the primetime show, but this one would be 6 minutes instead of 1. Another idea has them reducing local ad time too, so Fox affiliates would have to deal with that problem themselves. As I mentioned, this is all hypothetical for now, ideas that Fox themselves came up with. While Fox and NBC try new things, CBS lags in comparison. It may be the highest rated network both in broadcast and elsewhere, but that title comes at a cost. Last year, it was revealed that CBS is experiencing a drop in ad revenue. It's only a 2.8% drop as caused by the fewer number of Thursday night football games, but a drop nonetheless. CBS CEO, and boy, is he still working there after all that happened? Guy Les Moonves says the network and NFL are trying to speed up games to keep viewers locked in, but ads would not be lessened. Another plan? To do more digital advertising on sites like Hulu and other streaming platforms, much of which has gone into effect this year. More recently, Disney decided to combine all of its ad revenue under one roof. ESPN and ABC will now be shopped as one entity as opposed to how Walt Disney used to take them out separately. This comes after they lost their big ad guy to the passage of time. Rita Farrow, he retired. Rita Farrow will take the lead. This is the significant because it marks Disney finally joining Fox and NBC as a single ad executive driven company. A move like this can only make the sales more focused. And finally, Amazon. This one's a little different. The online store giant recently made headway to competing in the same major ad space as Google and Facebook, the same two companies that already make up more than half of the total $88 billion in digital advertising for online industries. That sounds familiar. Make that 5 ad-based episodes. This means New York Times contributor Julie Cresswell writes, we'll be seeing ads in spaces we haven't seen them in before. On our wish lists, in the Prime Video apps, in the box when I order my backup tampons. Great. Cresswell also correctly states Amazon is doing this at the most opportune time. Both Google and Facebook have experienced public turmoil in the last year, so the online retailer is trying to overtake them. Couple that with the shopping data they already have on literally everyone, and they're ready to party. No matter how you slice it, ads will be coming at us one way or another. Big ones, small ones, some as big as our heads. We can't escape them, but we can't ignore them. And if advertisers see we're fed up with being distracted from our shows, they might pull back. That's what we want. Yet, with every change comes more change. It's a deadly loop, kind of like Edge of Tomorrow. Before I go, I'd like to talk to you about comedian Blake Wexler's new album, Stuffed Boy. Topics for the album include night terrors, taking PMS medication for a hangover, it's very funny, and the discovery of a legendary pitcher's LinkedIn account. Plus, Comedian Todd Glass introduces Wexler, so he's got to be good. Stuff Boy is out now wherever albums are sold. And that's all the news I have for you for this week on News Time. Why don't you subscribe and check out one of our other videos? Of course, you can always head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where I swear it's being updated. You can follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast. Like this show is very much me talking to myself. And follow us on Instagram because I live sometimes, and I'm live right now.